the vertical thing.
Okay, I see the live button. We are live.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, good. Welcome everybody to Journey to the Cloud December to Remember 2025 episode. We have the gang all here today, and we're just going to just take some time and just kind of talk about what Journey to the Cloud, and talk about some of our key contributors and how we contributed to this community this year. But first, I always like to introduce the founders. I always forget to introduce myself. I'm Teresa Cyrus. I am a 3-time MVP. Joined this group about 2 years ago. And I was just joining, and Dan said, "Hey, can you moderate for me? I won't be available." And he has not been able to get rid of me ever since. So this group is kind of stuck with me. And so what is Journey to the Cloud? We like to inspire upcoming MVPs, IT professionals. You can come here and network and showcase your expertise. Doesn't matter, what area you are in when it comes to Microsoft 365. And we have had some people who showcase other technical features as well. So it doesn't have to be Microsoft 365. We meet every first Thursday of the month at 3 p.m. We are doing this an hour earlier this week. We do accommodate our guests, especially since we are global. For an example, we have Frank from Ireland. Dan and I are from the USA. We have Ami, who is from Israel.
Yep.
And we have Tammy Tope from Nigeria. So we're global. Some of their founders that's not with us today: Matthew Brown, he's from Ireland, and Solomon is from the UK. And Dan, if you want to go ahead and quickly introduce yourself and kind of talk about how Journey to the Cloud got started. We can't hear you. There we go.
He's on mute.
There we go.
Yeah.
Thank you. Journey to the Cloud started in 2022 with Matthew, Frank, myself, Solomon, and we got started in using the Microsoft Speakers Club, which was formed out of a Microsoft Midwest Toastmasters Club that I had been involved with since 2014. And as we brought that online in 2020, we decided to move to a virtual environment. And that page was coined the Microsoft Speakers Club. And then Teresa, you were the one who helped us rename or relaunch under the Microsoft Speakers Hub.
Yeah. I think there was because there was 2 groups with the same names, and thought that we kind of branch off from that. So one of the things is this platform is a place where, again, IT professionals and inspiring MVPs will come and showcase their expertise. Tammy Tope, who was one of them last year, was very visible in this show, and this year became MVP. And Ami has always been an MVP and showcase, his expertise as well. I'll mention Lisa Henderson, who was on our show, and we'll talk about this a little bit later on, but was on our show in April. And in August, September, she became MVP. So the reason why I'm sharing this is because if you're new and you're watching us, if you want to join our show and participate, there's multiple ways you can contribute. You can be a guest speaker. You could be a facilitator. You can just showcase your expertise. So hopefully we have more people to join us in 2026. So this year, for this episode, we're just going to kind of like talk about and just recap 2025. We have Frank and Ami and Tammy Tope. Please jump in and share some of your favorite moments from this year. Dan is going to talk about a little bit that their first show was in September 2020.
Was there COVID then? Oh, it was after COVID.
Oh, we were definitely in COVID in September 2020.
It was definitely in COVID. So we had in 2014, we started a Toastmasters group at Microsoft, and I found the video, but it's closed in trying to relaunch this window. Let's see if I can find it again here real quick. Teresa, I should have sent it to you when I had it open.
Are you able to send me the link?
If I can get it. Yeah, let me see if I can get it again. Favorites is there, but history, my browser history isn't showing up, which is super useful. Let's see if I put it in the chat. I think I put it in our chat from our previous meeting. See if I can grab it from there.
Well, is she in Microsoft employee, Donna? Or...
Yes, she is.
Yeah, Donna is. I see that Tammy Tope is writing in the chat that Donna was actually in Nigeria in October and she got to meet her. So that's awesome.
I was going to say she was just recently there.
Yeah. I met her at the MVP Summit 2 years ago, my first year in. And she's a co-owner of a bar in Redmond, and we went to her bar. Great food, and that's where I met Daryl Webster. I met him there.
Yep. I just I found the link, Teresa. I put it out into the chat.
All right, let's see if I can pull this up. And reshare my screen.
Frank, is your connection having any issues, or are you good?
No, I'm good. It's showing that
Okay.
you're.
Hey, do you guys see it
It's
now?
It's showing here.
You're not sharing. You're not sharing it.
Your browser space.
Yeah, my browser is having an issue of some sort.
Yeah.
Teresa, I just
Now
put
we
your
can see it.
presentation up, so hopefully it's shared now.
Can you see it?
Yeah. So it's saying your disk has low space.
So
Weird.
probably you won't be able to hear the sound. The whole goal is just to kind of show that, they were up. And Dan, you guys started off with she's so techie, with women in tech then. And I know at some point that Journey to the Cloud was pretty much, if you guys let me say respectfully, the boys club. And then around 2023, we start to showcase more women on the show. I'll do some name dropping myself. Help me name drop a little bit. Tammy Tope came on board. We had Nikki Carter.
Roxana,
Sarah. Thank you, Roxana.
Micah Hansen.
Right. So and more global, right? So we made a lot of changes and a lot of growth over the years. So I just wanted to just kind of give you a gist of how Journey to the Cloud kicked off a couple years ago. Going to stop sharing again. And while I get set up, Frank, is there anything you want to share, some key highlights for you for 2025?
I suppose when we were talking about women in tech, I got 3 women this year over the line to become MVPs. So I've been kind of mentoring a few women to show them how to get over the line, different things to do so as that you have enough, when Microsoft asks you for fill out these 24 forms and they all have to be different things. So those 3 women got their MVPs anyway. So I think
And they presented on this show as well as your show, correct?
one of them would have.
Amelia.
Amelia. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, with, you have to think about, we're Microsoft Speaker Hub, but our event is Journey to the Cloud. Our monthly event is Journey to the Cloud. But under Microsoft Speaker Hub, we had 269 posts that people were posting articles and information, and everything was knowledge based. 42,000 total impressions, over 3,000 clicks, and 1,100 reactions. So we did pretty good. And we're continue to grow. The one thing I didn't capture, Dan, is how many members do we have?
That's a great stat. I believe we are at 3,700.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can pull that up real quick.
Yeah, that's not far off.
I think it's like 3,700.
Yeah.
So really good. Yeah, I'm just looking here. I got all the key stats except for how many members. We had over 35 contributors in some type of form with Journey to the Cloud, meaning they're presenting or participated on the show, or with the Microsoft Speaker Hub, posting and reacting. The people that's marked in yellow, highlighted in yellow, were some of our guest speakers in 2025. So here's the opportunity that we just want to say thank you to everyone who contribute to our show and made it successful this year. So yay, thank you. Couple highlights. Top post came from Prathath. Did I say that right? He's from India. I know that he became MVP as well in the last year or two. I think this was his second year, but he was a great contributor to our platform. I also had some top posts, and Mirren, she actually posts the speaker spotlight. So this year she started to roll out and highlighting key people within the IT community, and it is doing very well. Some of the top contributors, Danielle, she actually posted over 100 posts this year. These were like memes and, funny things that got a lot of attention from our site. And again, Prathath also posted 41. I posted 36 and Dan 29. I do remember, Dan, a couple years ago, you were like the top contributor, and and you've been pushed out a little bit on that.
That's perfectly fine. The whole idea of this was to have multiple voices and not, any one person that was doing all the work, but it's definitely grown into a community.
Absolutely. I like the fact even seeing the same thing with me listed here, and there's other people that is posting and contributing. I wanted to give a huge shout out to Amelia, who also was a guest moderator for several shows. She says, hey, I'm going to be a guest speaker and be the moderator of the show, and did a wonderful job setting everything up, and great job, Amelia. So if you're watching this, thank you. Anybody else, Dan, do you want to give a shout out to?
I'd say Micah Hansen's probably the one person I would give a shout out to, and Frank Matthew, myself, Solomon were looking for, that first person who wasn't male or a man. Micah was somebody that I had met virtually through her role at a healthcare company in Florida. And Micah was probably one, Frank, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think she was probably one of our first female women that we had involved with Journey to the Cloud in 2022. And then we had Kat Beeman, I believe, as one of our first guests. Lorraine Lawrence came on. Matthew did a great job, even when they weren't, people that kind of joined on a consistent basis. We certainly had representation of women in Journey to the Cloud from the very beginning. And, some of that was by reaching out to people as opposed to just, hoping they would find us kind of thing. We reached out to them.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you, Ami? What was key highlight for you for 2025 with Microsoft Speaker Hub and Journey to the Cloud?
I actually wasn't that much in this Journey to the Cloud because it's once a month, and for some reason I like missed it each time, and it wasn't announced or the post. But I was quite busy with Frank in the AI show, and there was a period that every month only me and Frank were there, and each one of us were talking about new stuff or reviewing all kinds of AI or agent things. And I think it was very interesting for me and him, and also for the audience. So I enjoyed sharing the knowledge I had, either in SharePoint or in Copilot. And so the weekly show, I think, is was very good. And I think in the past month, Frank brought new speakers and new technologies, which made a variety of not only one area, and it gave opportunity for other things. Did you, Frank, publish like on some kind of media where people can
Yeah.
raise request for speaking?
Yeah.
Sessionize?
Sessionize. Yeah, I use Sessionize, and I just posted again there now, just this week for more people for January and February. So I'm kind of going to do it that way. So I'll have speakers lined up.
Have you received and people are active there, or you find that people are looking to speak? And
if you go on there, you can look for speakers, call for speakers. If you want to go on there, you can find events to go and speak as well. It's a two-way street.
Yeah, it's and it's open to. It's not just open to MVPs. It's actually open to anyone. Yeah. So if you're looking for, wanting to become a speaker and be active, trying to bring it up on my screen here, that you can join, and there's a list of events that you can participate in.
I think it's an opportunity for people to learn how to speak, because for some people it's not natural, and the possibility just to speak and practice and to maybe get feedback or just share it, and it's very supportive, and not criticizing, and it's a great place to learn how to speak online. And well, it's not actually in face to face, but it gives a good opportunity for people to learn how to speak. publicly. Or
and provide demonstrations at the same time. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I wanted to mention that one of the top shows this year was where we had Lisa Henderson um, talking about New Outlook. And I mean, I don't know if you was a part of that show, but we had a couple
yeah,
of folks that
I
kind of
was.
talked about. She gave a demonstration around from from Microsoft Exchange side, and then at the end we had a discussion and kind of talk about some of the challenges and with New Outlook, and that was one of the top shows that we had this year. I know that Amelia also did a show around AI and Copilot. So yes, yeah.
Yeah, I was at that show, and it was actually interesting. And I think 90% of the people still are in the classic Outlook. And I also see that Microsoft is pushing things from the new also to the classic, because I guess they see people are not planning to move, so they're trying to add new things, especially related to Copilot. But
Yeah. Yeah. So what is it up? What are the plans for Microsoft Speaker Hub in 2026? Dan and I have been talking about rebranding a little bit. We're going to drop the name Journey to the Cloud and just keep Microsoft Speaker Hub. So we have a LinkedIn page that is Microsoft Speaker Hub, but our monthly event was called Journey to the Cloud, and so we're going to drop Journey to the Cloud and just have one name for both our page as well as for our monthly events. We are in the process of right now kind of thinking about the direction and the approach that we want to take, because we want to make sure that our show is impactful and impactful for users. Again, we want to have speakers on the show to showcase their expertise. Again, it can be used towards a contribution as an MVP as well. Anything else you want to add around that, Dan?
I'd say that your feedback has been instrumental in forming some of the changes that we've had so far. We sent out a note, and one of the posts that we did on the Microsoft Speakers Hub was about the content admins and the super admins. So the other challenge we've had is, as we've grown, there's more people that have the potential for input or the potential for sharing on the Microsoft Speakers Hub. And we're not trying to limit people, but we do have some limits that LinkedIn proposed, or I guess enforced is a better way of looking at it. So we had to clean up that list. And one thing we're looking at, this was started by Matthew Brown as well. Matthew started the idea of a most valuable contributor. None of us MVPs or Microsoft employees have the ability to award the MVP program. It's also a community award that's given, and multiple people have input into who is awarded. But one thing that we do have the capability of doing as the Microsoft Speakers Hub, and Teresa, you've done a wonderful job of this, is recognizing those that have contributed. And so one way that we can recognize those folks is, instead of necessarily them having to come to the show, or Ami, to your point, being available whenever we choose to do the show, we have a newsletter. We have several contributors, probably more than just what is listed here. But Teresa, you did a great job of coming up with who had posted and who had shared. And then I know folks like Pratap have grown their own communities, and people like Frank have grown the Azure and AI show. And then Teresa, we even, this is probably 2024, maybe 2023, we even birthed the Microsoft Designer page on the Microsoft Speakers Hub. And that has, I want to say it's above maybe 14,000 followers now, but is owned by Microsoft. We actually handed that back over to some Microsoft folks to manage. And they don't post as often. They don't necessarily do videos on that page, but that's another highlight, I guess I would point out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one of the things I probably should have captured how many contributors that started off on our show or was at least a guest on our show that became MVP, and I'm one of them, right? That before I became I was on your show moderating and being a guest, and then became an MVP. And so we have Tammy Tope as another one. So here again, here is a safe space to come,
Solomon,
just like what
Solomon, Frank.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that became MVPs at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Me too.
Yeah, Ami.
Mm-hmm. So, back to what Ami was saying, even like with Frank's show, it's a safe place to come if you're, want to improve your speaking and demonstration skills. Here is the place to do that. And no judgment, right? And no judgment. I always share the story that my first time I was moderating the show, and had everything set up, all my screens all in place, and something happened and I didn't want to touch it, and Frank saw that I was going to get flustered, and in his cool, calm way he just says, settle. See, he said it like this: settle down. And the fact that he just said that, I remember just settling down. But he was just so calm and so cool. He was like, settle down. And that just brought peace to me. And because, you want everything to be perfect. You don't want anything to go wrong. And we were going to just go live. I was like, no, I don't want any issues. And so that's what I always remember. And again, the point of me sharing that is, here you're at a safe space to share and get familiar, being on a live show. Same thing with Tammy Tope. Share your experience when you did your first show on Journey to the Cloud. Can you hear me, Tammy Tope?
All right. Okay, can you hear me clearly?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Okay, so my first experience, I think it was October 2023. Yeah. I think if I remember clearly, I had to talk on technical writing and Journey to the Cloud. As at that period, I was, growing in technical writing, and then I talked about technical writing, and it was awesome because it was my first major, speaking engagement on the global platform and talking about what I know, what I do, my experience. And I got so much feedback from everyone that it was great. I got ways I can improve. And, from there, I actually started looking out for more speaking sessions using Sessionize. I began to say, okay, this is how a slide should look like for a live event like this. It should not be too wordy. These are the ways I could also improve in, my Microsoft 365 career, considering the fact that I've done a number of technical writing on cloud, Microsoft 365, SharePoint, OneDrive, Exchange, Outlook, and then before I went on to Copilot. So it was actually like a major starting point for me to where I am right now. So thank you so much everyone for giving me the opportunity to come speak. You really gave me the opportunity to grow, to develop, and give me tips on how I can grow in my career and even up to MVP. So thank you very much everyone. I really do appreciate the support, the tags, the posts, the opportunities, the reminders, every one of it. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah. Watching your growth has been wonderful. It's been really wonderful just to see your developments, and now you're part of MVP, and it was really good to watch. Yeah, so congratulations. Congratulations. Okay, well, I didn't have much to share. Just wanted to just take a few moments and just to kind of do a recap of 2025 and thank all of our contributors, and also invite new inspiring IT professionals to join our show next year. Dan and I will be pushing out some guidelines, and like I said, we're in the middle of rebranding, and the logo is not going to change, and just kind of give you guys an update on our new direction for 2026. And if I don't get to talk to anyone, make sure happy holidays. And is it too soon to say get ready for the new year?
No, it's right around the corner.
So, just around the rebranding, are you going to use Sessionize then, or?
We're gonna talk through all of that. Yeah. 'Cause we
I think
want
it'll make a
to
lot of
little
sense.
bit more
Frank.
structured.
You've had such a great success with using Sessionize,
Yeah,
and I don't think we've ever used it for Microsoft Speakers Hub.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, so I just posted this week now for people for January and February, and I've got 6 speakers already.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like
Excellent.
you can see there from the StreamYard thing that I support another group here in Ireland. They're the Dublin M365 group. So they do a monthly show as well. And when they first started off, they used to have 1 speaker, but now they've kind of, because they're getting so many speakers from Sessionize, they're putting in 2 speakers each time. So you got kind of different content,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're even even thinking, like I said, these are just things that we're going to evaluate. Do we go from just a half an hour instead of a 4 hour? And but those are just some of the things that we need to just talk through and just consider.
Yeah. And there's ways to have contributions that don't have to be at the time that we actually schedule something. So the monthly aspect of this, if we had somebody that produced a video, sends us the video, we can always schedule that under the Microsoft Speakers Hub and just say, it's going to go live at a certain date and time for that person. There's a lot of things that we can do from a standpoint of addressing time zones, addressing length of shows, and some other things. Because Frank, you already have a weekly show, right? So we're not. There's
don't want to double dip, right? We don't want to double dip, right?
Yeah, exactly. There's no lack of opportunity out, and there's other shows, right? There's other people doing shows and asking for guests, and Sessionize, that is the aggregator, right? Or one of them. There's others like Just Attend, and there's other companies and platforms doing something similar. There's even things like, Meetup and Eventbrite, and here in Chicago, there's Ticket Falcon for events that are maybe virtual or in person. Event Noir, I think, is also a Chicago-based, ticketing platform. So some of the ticketing platforms are also, for virtual as well as in person or hybrid events.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Dan, I have a question. If you're talking about rebranding, are you thinking about what technologies will be under the umbrella that people will talk about? Will it be, if somebody talking about security, or it can be, the collaboration, SharePoint Teams, or it could be, I don't know, some other thing. can it be AWS, or is it,
So that's one thing that Matthew specifically chose in Journey to the Cloud as a title, was to keep it agnostic of Microsoft. I haven't talked to Teresa or any of the other admins about it, but one thing we could think about is, do we want to keep Microsoft in the title of the community? To your point, like the community is kind of skewed towards Microsoft because many of us are Microsoft MVPs. But if we called this, the tech community or the tech speakers hub or something else, there might be other opportunities. Yeah. We've never turned anybody away. I'd say that too. It's the Microsoft Speakers Hub, but we've never had somebody approach us. We had a drone show. The drone show had very little to do with Microsoft.
I was on that show. Yeah.
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 We had a show where we just had.
Remember, we talked about networking, right?
You can. Yeah.
Yeah. We did a show where we talked about the importance of networking. That doesn't have really anything to do with Microsoft.
Yeah. We've done for the last 2 years a suicide prevention show, or at least brought up the topics of suicide prevention. So, those don't have anything really tying them directly to Microsoft, but they certainly have things tying to mental health and, supporting others. So we haven't gotten to that point. We're open.
So
we're open to discussion.
Is general, and then you're not limited to technology or to anything. It's just anything, whatever you want to talk, and
Thanks for that feedback, Ami.
I think we would be better off keeping it the Microsoft in it, because like everyone here is an MVP and it can be used for contributions, and for helping
regardless of what we can call it.
Yeah, the name doesn't
I think there's
matter. If you talk about your technology, then Microsoft is fine with it. You could call it the Dan Ray and Teresa show.
That's a nice ring to it, Ami. I don't say it again because I don't think Dan heard that.
I think it should be the Teresa and the Dan Ray show.
There you go.
Cute. All right, so I'm not going to hold everybody else up. Again, thank you. Thanks for the input. And stay tuned on what to expect for 2026.
Teresa, let me share this real quick.
Is that the year of the cat? I don't know what year in Chinese.
Oh yeah, I don't know what next year's lunar symbol is going to be.
No.
Turn off the stream here.